Hey YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to discuss Neyo's wife's Hawaiian silky hair comment in regards to their sons, both of their sons, hair texture. Alright, so a little while ago, more or less a week ago, Neyo's wife, Crystal Smith, posted a comment on Instagram in regards to hair care for her son, for their son. You know, they have a child together. And I'm going to read the comment and let you know what I think, right? So Crystal Smith posted the following, quote unquote, "So my son wasn't blessed with mommy's, quote unquote, Hawaiian silky, as my sister at Nikki Lorraine likes to say. Can anyone suggest some good products for some good products or moisturizers? Nothing I've tried will help the dryness. His hair seems to just soak up everything instantly. Comment below if you've had this issue. Help." All right. So I read the comment, and let me tell you something. All right. Here's the thing. I think if she wanted hair care tips, hair care suggestions, hair care advice, okay, just say, "I want hair care advice." She's not the first mom who has a child who, you just don't know what to do with their hair, right? She's not the first. But the thing is, though, and I think what triggered people to react, and as far as the reaction is concerned, sometimes I do think we can just, I don't want to say that we should just ignore everything, but some things I'm just like, is this really a surprise? But I guess we want to show her and tell her that, hey, you shouldn't do it like this. And I can understand where people are coming from in that regards. But just see where I'm coming from more so is like, okay, you need hair care advice. Perhaps you could have just asked this offline too. This could have been an option. But perhaps maybe you just don't have access to the people in your day-to-day life offline who can help you with this issue. Okay. But the thing is, she added in that, he wasn't blessed with Hawaiian silky, like his mom. Right? It's like, was that part really necessary, though? That's the thing. Was that part really necessary? Right? Then it kind of gets into a whole thing of, well, what else don't you think he was blessed with? What other features don't you think he was blessed with? Because, there's other features that we can talk about. And I think either her sister or Neyo's sister actually, who said the comment to her initially, or at least that's what she's saying, at Nikki Lorraine, right? But nevertheless, that's something that should have just stayed between you guys. That shouldn't have been shared in public, on record, on the internet, because it just really comes off the wrong way. It's almost like you're putting yourself up, above your child, and like, I have the better hair texture, right? And of course, we all know where that comes from, the whole good and bad hair thing, etc., etc., etc. All right? And of course, she's not the first person, and she will not be the last person to say a comment like this. Just recently, Cardi B got caught up in saying a comment like this, saying that, her children are going to have effed up hair, right? But I think Cardi B, I think she was smart enough to like not blame or put it on Offset. She put it on her mother because her mother, I guess, doesn't have quote unquote good hair. You know, her side of the family has effed up hair. But nevertheless, people still kind of got at Cardi B about that comment, right? And this also speaks to something that I talked about in a previous video that I recently did about, you know, these light-skinned biracial women who often have these relationships with like brown and dark-skinned men. But when it comes to the kids and the offspring and the products of those relationships, they tend to not want their children, they want their children to look a certain way. They really want their children to have their features, even though they're with this brown or dark skinned man, right? And I think that's something that you really need to take note of, right? Because it's like, you like this person, but you don't like the features that come with this person. Then it gets me to think, okay, you know, how deep does, like, the white is right brainwashing go in regards to these individuals? Think about it. That's something that people really need to stop and think about here. And also, the men that are getting with these women, do they want their children to have these features that their women have? Some do. Some prefer children that look like them, which is strange. Well, why not have a child with someone who has the same features as you do? Then it gets into the whole situation of, well, okay, you want your children to look like you, but you don't want to pursue women who have features that could give you a child that looks like you. Why is that? Or is it just an excuse not to take care of the kids? Is it just an excuse? Because some dudes do be just looking for any and every excuse to not take care of their kids, to date outside of the community, etc. Like, oh, black women, they talked about me. Black women teased me when I was a kid, right? Um, you know, my mom said, don't bring home, a nappy hair, dark skinned woman, etc., 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 right? Meanwhile, there are like black women, especially dark skinned black women, who have been, who went through those same things that the dark skin and the brown skin dudes would probably have went through, if not even more, right? Because there's some, black women, especially brown skin and dark skinned black women who have, been like, you know, sexually assaulted or raped by black men, who have been, you know, verbally and physically abused, like beat down to the floor, abused by black men. And these women probably have never even thought about dating outside of the community. They stay within the community, like, you know? So then it's like, okay, who's stronger, the men or the women? Like, who got, the more tenacity? Who's the stronger person in here? But back to Neo's wife, Crystal Smith. All right, she replied to the backlash. TMZ caught up with her at LAX, the airport. And TMZ has an article, and I'll read through the article. It's pretty short and straight to the point. All right. Neo's wife says people got pissed over her comments about her son's hair because some people still don't like seeing mixed race couples. How did this become about mixed race couples? Okay, so right there, it's already like, you know, y'all hating because I'm biracial. Right off the bat, they coming at it. She coming at it like that. um, let's see. We got Crystal Smith Tuesday at LAX and asked her to weigh in on the backlash she received for saying her kid wasn't blessed with her quote unquote Hawaiian silky hair. Crystal seems to think the real reason so many Instagram users sounded off is quote unquote because a lot of them don't like when black men date outside their race, even though Crystal is part black. You know, Crystal, I don't know exactly her mix. I'm guessing she is part of Hawaiian. I don't know. Like she some type of Hawaiian or something. I don't know. But apparently she's mixed. She's letting us know that she's mixed, right? So like flipping her hair back, like, don't you know I'm mixed? Of course, you know, blackies are going to hate. Yeah, I'm mixed, duh. um, the point is probably moot, M-O-O-T, moot. The point is probably moot, though. Crystal says she'll do whatever she feels is best for her child, regardless of what others think. She's also clapping back with a business move. And then they have a clip that goes along with this. This was filmed, by the way, too. And at the end of the clip, I think Neyo pretty much kind of just, brushes it off, like, oh, it's just overreacting, just putting it like that, right? People just overreacting. Although Neyo has been on camera saying that, something to the effect of, kind of like mixed babies or light-skinned babies are like the prettiest babies or something like that. I can't get the exact quote, but there is video footage of that out there. He said it pretty, casually offhand during an interview. Or, kind of like interracial relationships came up. Also, like, look at, I believe Neo's first wife, our first baby's mother, probably looks more like him. Flash forward to present, his baby mother does not look like him now. And we kind of have seen that play out before, where, like, it's kind of like a saying within the community. Some people say where it's like, as black men get more successful, their women get lighter and lighter. I don't know, but you can kind of see that play out sometimes in the media, though. Like Kevin Hart, right? Who else? Perhaps Kanye West. Another person I'm thinking of, 50 Cent, right? Look at when before he became, 50 Cent, the rapper mogul. Look at the child he had with his first baby's mother. Probably his child is more reflective of him. The baby's mother probably has features similar to 50 Cent. Flash forward to present. Look at the woman that he has a child with now. Right? She's part Mexican, part black. Very, quote unquote exotic and racially ambiguous. And his child came out more so with her features. And 50 Cent has been quoted as referring to something to the effect of, like, get your India Ari looking ass out of here, or something like that. I remember him saying that as like a pejorative towards a woman, or, a black woman. Yeah. And I kind of feel like the majority of these women that are with these dudes probably wouldn't be with these dudes if they didn't have the bank accounts that they have and the, success and the fame that they have. Because a lot of these dudes would not be able to get these same women if it was just like a regular, if they were both on like, Main Street, just regular 9-to-5 type folks. I'm not sure if that it would play out like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I don't know. I don't know if these same women would be checking for them like that if they didn't have the money, right? You know, and some of these women know that this is probably the best that they can get. Not trying to be shady, not trying to, you know, take jabs on the low, not like that. But I'm just saying some of these women probably just feel like this is probably the best that they can get. So go with it. You know? But if another dude came along who was perhaps like a Brad Pitt, you know, a Derek Jeter, um, shoot, who else? You know, Mark Anthony, you know, The Rock, Vin Diesel, etc. Right? You know, they'd probably be with them, perhaps. You know, but you know, I'll say that I think Crystal Smith just needs to learn a lesson from this. Honestly, just don't try to brush it off. Just learn a lesson. Like, hey, my bad. I misspoke. I shouldn't have said that. I should have, you know, just kept that to myself. And just really learn a lesson from this so that you don't kind of like mess with your child's head and make them think that they don't have good features, you know, because that can be really dangerous. And then probably when he grows up, he's going to be trying, despite, I don't know how the kid looks. I think he might be light skinned. I don't know for sure. But he might be trying to, you know, perfect his light skinnedness, as some light skinned people and even biracial people do. You know, I have called that out too. You know, so I think Crystal just learn a lesson from this, really. But something tells me that she's so far gone that she can't just learn a lesson from this because it just wasn't like, oh, you know, I just like misspoke or just, you know, made a faux pas. It's like this may speak to her mentality as a whole. So because of this being your mentality, then you might be, it may take more than just you addressing this one little incident. It may take a lot more. And if it does, then I think she should go on that journey. But will she? I don't think so. So that's what I got to say for the moment. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now. Before I go, though, I'm going to pose this question. I'm going to put it out here. And before I do, I'm going to come up with some disclaimers because I'm really not trying to offend people. And I know this is a very touchy, sensitive subject for us as a community. I understand that. As well, I understand where I fall within this discussion as well. All right. But I'll put it out there. Do you think that there is like sort of a privilege when it comes to having perhaps, you know, being the parent of a child who is, you know, a child that's pretty, a child that's light skinned, a child that's racially ambiguous? Do you think that as a parent there is some sort of a low-key privilege that's associated with that, where perhaps people may look at the child and even the parent in a different light just because of this, like, you know, pretty light-skinned baby with good hair? Do you think so? You know, and I will say I think there low-key is perhaps there's some privilege associated with that. I know in my personal day-to-day life, a while ago, there was this person at this job that I used to work at, and she didn't work at the job anymore, but she kind of came in and out of the business because of the nature of the business. She wound up bringing her kids to the mall that we worked in, and I didn't know that those were her kids when I first saw them because of the way that she looks. not to throw shade or be shady, but she wasn't like the most, bathe in beauty, if you will. She wasn't the most attractive looking person, right? And she was about peanut butter complexion, just in case you'd be like, oh, what complexion was she? Well, peanut butter, right? And I saw her kids, and I was like, oh, her kids look really, really pretty, like really beautiful, nice looking kids. Like, oh, I didn't even know that those were her kids when I first saw them, and she was with her kids. Her kids were with her. Her kids were with her. I didn't know that. I thought that she was babysitting. And I'm like, oh, she had a child with someone who was like part Native American, part white, possibly of Mexican origin, right? So the kids have a certain look and a certain hair texture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? A certain skin tone, right? And I also heard, y'all remember that skin bleaching? Okay, you guys remember that Tyra Banks show episode about skin bleaching where like the black women were talking about bleaching their skin, and there was just one black woman who said like she purposely had a child with an Asian man so that she wouldn't have a dark skinned child, and she avoided dating dark skinned men because she didn't want to have a dark skinned child. And some people took offense to it in the audience, of course, and she explained that she didn't want a dark skinned child on her arms, like to go through life with a dark skinned child, because of the way that I guess dark-skinned children are treated, as well. She says she sees a difference between the way that her son, who is mixed, is treated at daycare versus the dark-skinned children who are treated at daycare as well. Putting it out there. Again, I do not say this and bring this stuff up to be offensive or to be shady, anything like that, but I bring this up to just put it out there and to have a discussion about this. Do you think that these are things that kind of are at play in the community when it comes to relationships, marriage, and procreation? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching, you guys. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.